Ladies and gentlemen, we are live in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and all wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio. And you might want to say that we are now living in the Creed era. I'll tell you why. Because after what just happened, it seemed like after month on what this man was put through, and it even involved his family, it seems like he has finally gotten his payback. He's going to talk about that. Is it seemingly an end of an era with this man and that blacklist? Well, not so fast, because in TPW, will this man and his tag team partner about to get a kiss of death? We'll get into that. We'll also talk about maybe a qualifier for some world championships on the horizon, maybe in CPF. And then what about what's going on in OPW? Maybe there's some championship gold there in this man's sights. Plus, we will most certainly talk about the reason why that this man is here and why he finally got his payback. And he proved to the world that one-on-one, it was him and that Dawn of Combat. This is what was going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. But since this man has not been here before, while we won't quite give him the freak math, we will give him that introduction to start this night off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and all wrestling matters. So with that, wait for it. Further ado here on the Sports Report. Number one global sports show. A man that certainly packs more of a punch than Apollo Creed. His name is simply put Elliott Creed! My friend, how are we doing?
I am doing fantastic, Tom. Thank you for having me tonight. I've been waiting for a long time for this.
Well, it's
I'm
definitely
excited.
the right time and the right place to be, and the only platform that is where it's all music and all wrestling matters. And I guess from your vantage point, Elliot, there could not be no better way than to be here, especially because we have to get right into it. And this is the
Absolutely.
reason that you're here. For those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and the many companies that you represent have helped build Sportswire Radio into what it is today, talk to me about how it feels to have finally defeated the Dawn of Combat, AJ Harrison.
Oh, Tom, when I saw what happened, when I saw the results that I finally beat AJ Harrison, it cured my soul, because everything that he did to me, it was wiped away like that. I told him, I said, "You want to mess with my family?" You see, he had to come with his group. I did everything by myself. I have a group too. If you're not aware, Tom, I'm in the invitation.
Yes.
And they were nowhere to be found. But he had to bring his goons into my home. And I told him with a very passionate match promo, probably one of my best I ever did. I told him it was over for him. And obviously, I did what I said I was going to do, Tom. And it feels great. Feels great. Thank you for asking.
But I mean, you made some interesting points and how this finally came to a head because we know that AJ Harrison, well, he talked about your family, went after you, tried to break into your home, and then,
Yep.
well, you tried to turn the tables on him, and he was nowhere to be found. Why do you think that the Don of Combat was nowhere to be found after what you did in turning those tables on what he had done to you in reversal?
See, to be honest, that I can't answer. He obviously wasn't afraid because he had the part of my language. He had the balls to come inside my home,
You can
even
say
with
that on
me.
you. We had a lot
Okay,
worse. You can say
okay.
it.
He had the balls to come in my home when I was in my bed. So, I did little videos. I was gonna tease him about bashing him in with a baseball bat. But you know what I did? I took the smart route, Tom, and you know, I went with just hands only. And he didn't show up. So it was my pleasure to beat him one on one when it mattered. It it felt great. If you like, I can actually tell you how this all started between me and AJ.
Well, we were talking about it last week. I mean, I would love to get
Yes.
your side because one of the things that I had asked the Don of Combat about was you had started in EPW 4-0, and you
Yep.
had felt that you should have gotten more opportunities to be on top, and yet AJ Harrison had just put obstacle after obstacle towards you, and even in
Yes.
some ways, this also crosses over in TPW. So this is something that's been going on for a long time between you two.
Yes. So, and it all started with, I guess, Elias, and it all trickled down to me for some odd reason. But yes, I started in EPW 4-0, and then I went against Comatose, who defeated me one on one
Yeah, a man I
Thursday.
know very well. A
Yeah,
man I know
yeah.
very well.
So I have no excuses about that. But then all of a sudden, I kept losing, and then I won the Intercontinental Championship, and then I lost it a couple weeks later, and then I just kept losing and losing and losing, and then come to find out, I go against Dario for the world title, and he interfered for no reason at all. And come to find out, he made a video on me saying that I'm guilty with association of Elias. So pretty much what happened is he put his nose where it didn't belong, Tom. I should have become the EPW world title, and he made this personal. I just wanted to get back at him for costing me what I thought should have been mine. And this was before I knew the blacklist even existed. So now it all comes together, Tom. How I was screwed. And that's
So
just
you
an EPW.
Yeah, I'm listening. I know you guys are, you're not done with the blacklist and
No.
by a long shot because we'll tell you why in TPW. But I was going to ask you about this formation of the blacklist, and it's obviously been talked a lot about on here. AJ Harrison was on, and Comatose had joined him, and Draquan had joined him, and Dario Divine, who you had just mentioned, had made
Yep.
his decision, and he has joined the blacklist, and then the whole group came on here and. I was wondering what your thoughts are now on this blacklist and just now that they've been around the last few weeks. And what is your opinions on the formation of the blacklist?
So my opinions were actually I had no problem with them until they invaded my home, Tom. My personal home with my children, my wife. I don't let that slide. That's where Elliott Creed draws the line. But Blacklist actually, I have a lot of history with Draquan outside of Instagram, but in a very good way. But since he joined them, he's unfortunately my enemy. He's mine in the invitation's
How do
enemy.
you feel about Draquan joining then? A man that
Uh,
you know very well. I mean, I guess in a way you could see the formations of a group between Harrison, Divine, and Comatose, but Draquan's a man
yeah,
that you know the most of the bunch. And how
I
does that
do.
make you feel that he threw his lot in with them?
Um, so I didn't know he was in until I watched last week. My heart sank. I was like, oh
You,
shit.
you and Eli Bowman certainly share the same sentiment.
Um, because I've known Dre for 4 years. I started promoing in 2022 over in Discord, and that's when I met Draquan. So I know Draquan very well. And when I found out last week that he joined the blacklist, my heart was like, oh man, now I have another enemy who's a really good friend of mine. But for obviously he was in my home as well. I don't know if he was a part of it, but AJ Harrison said the blacklist, and he's a part of it. So fortunately, he's my enemy now.
It's disappointing. I could see, but this
Yeah.
group you didn't have a problem with. But what obviously led to a problem was AJ Harrison breaking into your home and threatening your wife and children. And obviously, we could understand that would be a problem for almost anybody. And that's why this all came to a head, and you were able to get a victory that in some ways, as you predicted, you said that we would now about to be in the Creed era. So I guess I have to ask you, what can we expect coming up? And now that we're in the Creed era.
So you're going to expect me to win as much as I can, hopefully become world champions in the other companies that I told you about. And in EPW, my goal is AJ. I know this time AJ is not going to make it easy. I'm going to have to scratch and claw to get back the world title because his buddy holds it. But nonetheless, that's my goal, is to become EPW world champion like I should have been, and world champion in any other company that I'm in. But TPW, I'm focused on the.
I'm glad
Sorry,
you obviously AJ is going to definitely make
Yes.
your life a living hell. AJ Harrison, he's going to definitely, but do you think that, I guess, going back to the Dawn of Combat, do you think that the Dawn of Combat is done with you now? Do you think that you and him, what do you think happens now that you've beaten him? I guess from your vantage point now, you're just going to go and move on as you just stated. But what do you think of the future between you and the Dawn of Combat, AJ Harrison?
So my future is, I hope, as a good man I know he can be, is he could understand the fact that I beat him one-on-one, no help, that I was the better man this week. And if he doesn't, and if more comes, Tom, then I got a war coming. I don't want a war. I'm a simple man, but I proved to him and everyone else that I could stand toe-to-toe with one of the best, and AJ Harrison is one of the best.
Yeah, absolutely. No, he's definitely a premier opponent. There's no question that the man has done a lot, and certainly coming up with the blacklist is a very interesting group. But I guess then, almost to dial it back from a couple of weeks ago on Sportswire, when Devin Adams made his long-awaited return here, and he was not impressed at all about the blacklist. So I guess then you would share the same sentiment as one Devin Adams, who just didn't think much at all about this group, and he basically peeled Comatose and just basically casted him aside, and Dario Divine he didn't almost have anything to say with, and he scoffed at AJ Harrison, the man that you just defeated. And I mean, what's your thoughts then on what maybe Devin Adams had said about the blacklist after you just beat AJ Harrison? I guess you and Devin Adams would probably see eye to eye.
I guess we can say that. I was never really an enemy of Devin Adams. We fought a few times here or there. Never really had a personal problem with him or a promo. We had a couple of matches here and there, but to be honest with the blacklist, I mean, they pissed me off. I mean, I don't really know.
Obviously, it was talked about. Listen, AJ Harrison went to your house. He went after your family and took this into a whole another level from your vantage point. And I'm sure we're going to get to some people here in the chat. We are, first of all, here with Elliott Creed. He is also from the group The Invitation. He has a lot to talk about here tonight. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally, where all music and all wrestling matters. I got a couple of announcements here I want to get to. First, I want to congratulate my friends over at the Sit Down Marks podcast. The guys are about to celebrate their 5-year anniversary, and they're actually on. You see a little ticker here, which is the internet radio station home of Sportswire Radio, which is via the Listen Live button on sportswireradio.org. And I want to congratulate the guys and everything that they've done, Primo and DB and Dylan, for everything that they have done, not just for Sportswire Radio, but for wrestling, the wrestling community. The guys have just been staples of Dreamwave Wrestling, and they've been really just almost a staple of independent wrestling. They've had on some big names, Billy Starks, who we've seen in AEW, and they've RPD, the natural born fighter, RP Davis, who just defeated Frankie Kazarian yesterday in the UK. He's a wrestling champion there, and the guys are celebrating their 5-year anniversary. So I want to congratulate them and thank you. And I don't want to take too much credit for it, but I was actually the guy that discovered them. I remember 5 years ago we were on a Zoom call when that was a thing during COVID, and I was telling them I had this idea, Sportswire Radio. It's an internet radio station. It's free. You come on the radio and I'll promote you, I'll plug you, although I haven't done much plugging lately because I actually have a fractured hand, but we're going to resume the radio in the beginning of April once I can click again and type. But these guys have been great. They've got thousands of subscribers now on YouTube. They become staples in the independent wrestling community. So I want to congratulate them. Also want to wish my buddy Johnny Velocity, Quick Strike Johnny Velocity, the ROEW Prestige Champion, a very happy belated birthday. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all that you've done in supporting Sportswire Radio and all wrestling matters and all music matters. Hope you had a wonderful day and can't wait to watch you back in the ring for the EWA and ROEW. And also, speaking of AJs, I saved one for you. Next Saturday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on all Sportswire Radio platforms, AJ Storm returns to Sportswire Radio to talk about the news of his in-ring promo career has now come to an end on Instagram, and we're going to talk about that. And we're going to certainly let those that have known Mr. Storm to come on, and if they would like to congratulate him on his career and talk with him, they will have that opportunity. But we are going to celebrate and honor the career of AJ Storm next Saturday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'm sure you'll tune into that, as many other people in the promo wrestling community will. So we want to congratulate AJ on an amazing career. And certainly the Blacklist didn't get a chance to end his career, although Comatose did obviously, have that famous feud with AJ Storm, but that wasn't the reason his career was coming to a halt. But we do want to congratulate AJ Storm on an amazing career. He makes his long-awaited return to Sportswire Radio, but we are now here with Elliott Creed, fresh off a huge victory over the Dawn of Combat, AJ Harrison. But Elliott, you're not done with Blacklist members, because I'm going to put that poster up here in a minute.
Nope.
Because I hope you and Maxwell Mangione won't have a kiss of death to deal with, because you're going to be going up against the TPW Tag Team Champions. That's Comatose and one Dario Divine, the lover boy himself. And talk to me about what's going to happen here.
So it's honestly, this could be the match of the week, hopefully match of the year, because as much as I can't stand them, it's more AJ, but they're a part of the thing. But me and Maxwell, we're gonna go out, we're gonna work as hard as we can, and we're gonna walk out with those tag team titles. I've never won the tag team titles in TPW. I have won a United States Championship before, and I'm a 2-time trios champion as well. So I do have a little history with tagging trios, but I'm looking forward to complete the tag part of it, trio and tag. That would be a great milestone for me, Tom.
And listen, Maxwell has got payback on his mind also, especially with him and Comatose not too long ago. So I would have to think that your tag team partner also wants to settle a score.
I'm sure he does. We both want a piece of the kiss of death, and we're gonna get it this coming week.
And listen, Dario Divine is here right now, and he's obviously scouting you for words, and I'm sure that this is also going right to Comatose, and sure. Just this could be a thing, a sign of things to come, more or less.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to the fight. It's 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 gonna bring me to put out one of my best stuff. But I'm looking forward to the battle this week.
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to certainly find that out. And I also understand you have a world championship in sight that you would like to win.
I do. I currently am the number one contender for the OPW World Championship, which I have won previously, early in my career there. It's a pay-per-view coming up next week. It's I forget. I think it's
I have the
I forget
poster.
what the pay-per-view is called, but it's I'm going against DTG for the. I'm
Man,
actually in two.
Very well. Yes, I know him very well.
Yes, I'm actually in two matches that night, so I'm actually pulling double duty on that pay-per-view. So.
Yep, luck runs out. I mean, we'll see if that luck runs out for DTG, and you'll find a way to win a championship that you would like to have, and continue your amazing week or your amazing last few days. Hopefully, your luck doesn't run out.
Yes, I certainly hope so. I would love to hold that title one more time, because I had it the first time. I wasn't satisfied with the run that I had with it.
Well, we're going to find out, and I have to ask you, because you have recently competed against him, and he's a man that I know very well. I've known him for a long time, and that is the Psychotic Freak, and you've certainly had your battles with him, and he is also here in this chat, and anything you want to say to the Psychotic Freak?
So I have no animosity toward him. I want to thank him for a really good match. This is the second time me and him competed one-on-one, and I beat him twice. They were both by roll-ups, close, but
yes.
I pulled it out. I want to thank him for the good match. I have no ill words towards him, and I would love to do it one more time. And maybe this time he'll get the upper hand. We shall see.
Well, right now, and he's obviously had his own battles with a man you know very well, and Mr. Elias himself, and he could very well have championship gold also.
Like I said, I have no problems with him, so I hope we don't beat Elias.
I was waiting for you to say that. I was waiting for that.
Yes, I don't want him to beat Elias for it, but maybe down the road when Elias doesn't have it anymore or whatever, but definitely I don't want him to beat Elias for it. Absolutely not.
Well, you know what? Let me get to the chat here. I want to give you something, and then I may have something up my sleeves here. But first of all
right.
Zilla is here. Thank you, Zilla, for being here. And the Psychotic Freak wants to remind you, this is not the Creed era. We are not living in the Creed era. We will have to find that out. But yes, hello. Please follow Elliott Creed on Instagram. Certainly check him out for some of his promos. And also, as I stated, the man you're going to be facing in TPW shortly, in 24 hours from now, nobody was impressed with the Enterprise either. And then we took over the industry, all in due time. And that's Stereo Divine, and that hopefully won't be your kiss of death. And that's what he's letting you know. And also, has never won a tag team championship, and that will stay true after this week.
Okay.
And Rocky is in the house, by the way. Rocky is in the house. Hello, Elliott Creed.
Hello, Rocky.
Rocky has been doing some great things, very, very busy, and Comatose had his own things to say about Rocky last week. The math does not lie. In this tag team championship match, you have a 10% chance at best, but because of the Freak multiplier, that gives you a negative 50% chance at winning.
We shall see. We shall see.
Time will certainly tell. And also, Elliott Creed is a great talent. I absolutely agree. So we have you here on Sportswire Radio, and I'm looking forward to having AJ Storm on Saturday's show to talk about his career. And I'm sure there will be many that would like to come in and say hello. They will certainly have that opportunity. And also, the Freak himself wants to remind you, we're going to be in the Freak era this week.
Nah.
Well, I tell you what, he's certainly come a long way. And Elias, he certainly got Elias's attention here, because I watched his promo before we came on the air, because obviously I like to share. And if you want to put your promos, by the way, you can add me as a collaborator to my
Okay.
Instagram and the PWF_network. So I think you follow the PWF network page. You
Yes,
add me as a collaborator, I'll
you got it.
accept. So, but we'll have to find out. Damn, I haven't been to school in a while, but that seems to check out. Well, stay in school. That you might want to stay in school for some people. But let me give you something, and especially on this day after what you've went through, it most certainly should be Elliott Creed Day on all Sportswire radio platforms. And congratulations, sir. And we'll make sure to give you the physical copy when we're off the air, obviously celebrating. And I know also you've got a qualifier match also in CPF maybe to win another world title.
Yes, I do. It's a triple threat qualifier to advance to another triple threat to become the #1 contender for the CPF World Championship, a title that I held as well before. So
Well, this
I would
could be
love to
the
win it
start of
back.
quite a week for you. This could be the
Yes.
start of quite a week. You have just, we are definitely living in this Creed era. I mean, forget about the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era. Forget about the Bloodline Era. It seems like we are now in that Creed era. But, let me ask you, coming back
Yes.
to AJ Harrison after that historic win and everything you've went through here these last few months with him, if you had any final words for AJ Harrison, what would they be?
So let me see. Do I want to be a good guy here, or do I want to be the bad guy, Tom?
I mean, it's
Let
your
me
show.
think.
It's your moment. It's your day
Hmm.
here on all Sports Bar Radio
So
platforms. You've done. I mean,
you know what? I'm gonna be the better man, like I am for the fans. You know what, AJ? I'm glad you slept on me. I really am, because you thought you had this in the bag, didn't you? But you didn't. I knew I can get you because I have the passion for this. I have, like I said, I ripped your soul out. You didn't expect me to do that, right? But AJ, I'm offering my hand to you. If you're man enough to shake it, I'm gonna be the better man. I beat you 1-on-1, and if you're man enough to accept my hand, we could forget this all happened. I'll forget you invaded my home and everything. But if you want to continue this, I personally don't want this war. But AJ, I'm offering my hand to you.
after everything that you've went through in multiple companies, you now want to shake AJ Harrison's hand?
Tom, I do. I don't like. I don't like to be. I'm trying to think of the word. I'm not the bad guy. So I took care of the bad guy, AJ. I want to be friends with AJ.
You want to be friends with after this man invaded your home? And after what you said about the blacklist, you want to now be friends with him? I'm just confused.
Not friends, but because I
you
know
want to join
Tom,
the blacklist?
No, definitely not. I know what's coming, Tom, and I'm trying to offer an olive branch before it gets worse. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Because I know.
I see what you're trying to do. You're saying that AJ Harrison should shake your hand because if he doesn't, what you're going to do to him and his allies is going to be far worse than what he attempted to do to you.
That could potentially happen. I don't want that to happen. I don't want nobody getting hurt in this town. I don't. So I'm trying to throw an olive branch before it gets worse.
I see. I understand.
If I get hurt,
I understand this.
My teammates and Invitation are going to get involved. It's going to be a nasty war that I don't want.
So really, AJ Harrison shouldn't want any of this, and he should just shake your hand, and we can move on, and he'll do his thing, and you do your thing.
That's what I'm offering, Tom, to AJ Harrison.
Wow, I tell you what, I expected you to basically spike the ball, run into the end zone, celebrate, and that's what I expect because everybody else does that on here. But you're taking the total 360 on this, and I'm shocked. I'm completely shocked, and I think a lot of us did not expect this, especially after what you did defeating AJ Harrison in a match that has been months in the making, and what you guys have went through, what you've went through here personally of late with involving your family. But apparently, I have received word that there is somebody here after hearing what you just said now wants to respond, and I'm going to give that person that opportunity because for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and all wrestling matters, it's the Don of Combat himself, AJ Harrison. I leave it to you, sir. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Elliott Creed, you think a squeak by and you when means this is over? This by far is not over. Just because you squeaked by just a little bit in this unsanctioned match. Understand the blacklist allows you to exist. You see, in that unsanctioned match, you forgot one thing. I still have it. When I took this from Cribside, I passed it along to my brethren, my family, to keep it safe because I knew, I had a feeling that something like this was going to go down, and I needed something to keep this going. So if you think by any means that this is over, buddy, you are even dumber than I thought. So let me just paint this picture for you. If you think that what I've done to you just this week is bad, you will never, ever make it to the top. And that is child's play compared to what I got in store for you now.
So I guess then AJ Harrison, after this olive branch that Elliott Creed extended to you, and then also offered his hand out for you to shake, I'm assuming that answer is
Elliott Creed can piss off. Tom,
whoa.
The problem with I apologize, Tom. I'm just
No. I understand, Mr. Harris. No need to apologize. Obviously, this was a lot for you to take just now because Elliott Creed wanted to extend his hand for it to be shaken, but you say no.
Yeah, and that's his problem. Is when you go to war with somebody, he in this business, you can either make money and you can make friends. You don't get to make both. You see, this man wants to talk about me making it personal. That's the problem. He meddled in business that he shouldn't have. My problem had nothing to do with him. He formed the invitation with Elias, something I destroyed back at All Pro 5, and it should have been done, dead, and buried. I buried it a long time ago, and then here comes Elias walking in like everything is fine, wanting to get his revenge on everybody, and reforming something that should have been done with. And then here comes Elliott Creed, an original member, if I remember correctly, and that right there was the key piece, is because he decided to be a part of that. And then not only that, it was a slap in my face. I gave him a choice. He did not have to go down this road. And yet, what did he do? He got up, he walked away just to turn around and spit right in my face. And that's something that you don't do, Tom. You're talking to the Don of Combat. You are talking to the Don of the Blacklist. And here's what you do, Tom. Regardless if you are my opponent, regardless if you work for EPW or anywhere else, when you see me coming and you see the Blacklist follow, there is one thing that you do, and that is you fall in line and you kiss the damn ring. And that's something that Elliott Creed hasn't done yet. And by damn it, by the time this is over with, that is exactly what Elliott Creed is going to do.
Well, Elliott Creed, I'm going to let you respond. A lot there to unpack.
You see, I knew that was going to be his answer. He just a little salty, Tom. That's all. Because he thought he had this in the bag. I know he did. He's mad because poor little Elliott Creed got one up on him. But you know what, AJ? That's fine. If you want a war, I'm gonna quote Scott Hall for a second. If you want a war, you got one. You see, you made me guilty of association. I had nothing to do with you, AJ. Nothing. I go to take on, apparently, obviously, he was one of your guys that I didn't know of. Dario for the world title, and you cost me. This was not personal, AJ. You made it personal by coming into my house, and I had to handle you accordingly.
See, I'm going to correct you right there. Your downfall didn't start until Elias walked into EPW. Notice the timeline. Okay. When you got your shot, unfortunately, it was bad timing.
You're right.
Because that was the same time that Elias walked in. So if you guys are so close and you guys consider each other family, then why didn't you warn Elias to let you be your own man and do your own thing in EPW? Instead, you needed Daddy to come in and try to help you fight your own battles. Well, guess what? After I'm done with Elias and the rest of his deranged and disgraced family, nobody's going to save you from the blacklist.
Well, Mr. Harrison and Mr. Creed, I have received word that there is somebody else here that wants to have a chat about some of these things that have been said tonight, and I must share my screen because for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the man that you will be seeing, Mr. Creed, very, very soon, one half of the TPW Tag Team Champions and the EPW World Champion himself, Mr. Dario Divine.
A true brother.
Double champ Dario Divine, actually.
Dario, I don't mean to cut in here. I just want to say, Elliott Creed, look at this. A true brother. Someone who's willing to stand by my side and show up. And actually show up. Where's your quote-unquote family? Where are they to back you up? You're alone. You have a fraud, a fake, a pretend family. I apologize, Mr. Dario Divine. Please, take the spotlight, as you should, champ.
No, you know what? Don't worry about it, because what you two did this week, I mean, I'm sure you've still got plenty more to say, so I'm going to let that one slide. But hey, Elliott Creed, you've got what seems to be a new tag team partner this week, and I mean, like Tom said, we have some history with that man, and it doesn't seem like it's gone in his favor.
Maybe not, Dario, but this week's going to be different.
I mean, it's the same story. It's the same old song and dance with the invitation because they say it every time. It'll be different. This time we're going to show up. But, I mean, Maxwell failed to me. And then he failed to Comatose. And he lost the tag titles with Elias. And, I mean, he can't get a win over Comatose and I.
We go down the Elias route.
He can't.
That was almost 2 months ago. That we talked about that on here when we had the TPW day. We actually had Dario here with Comatose, and it was again Maxwell Mangione and Elias. That was what closed the show. I mean, that was certainly a memorable exchange on here, and right afterwards, that's where the change of hands led to what Dario Divine has right now in his possession.
What did Maxwell say in that night, Tom? He looked and said, he corrected you, actually. He butted in, corrected you, and said, I'm sorry, you're looking at the new TPW Tag Team Champions. And we sat there and we laughed as we watched him say that on live air. Because we knew. Me and Comatose knew what we had planned. We knew it was in the bag. We knew we had a Draquan in the hole waiting. But nobody else knew that. Because we're always one step ahead. No matter what anyone thinks, we're always the ones laying the path for everyone to walk on before they can even look down at their feet and understand where they've ended up.
It's like
I have to ask you guys something else, though, that Elliott made an interesting point now that the both of you are on here. He did say that if AJ Harrison were to accept Elliott Creed's olive branch and shake his hand, that it would prevent what Elliott Creed is going to do, what Elliott Creed, the invitation, are going to do, which is the reason why he had offered out his hand to AJ Harrison and extended that olive branch. What was your reactions to that?
You know, Mr. Harrison made a great point. I think Elias might have it a little too busy with some family ordeals over in EPW. I mean, everything the blacklist has already done before we even were out of the shadows. I mean, look at what happened to Big Unk. We still have his big toe in a jar. I mean, there's only so far we'll go, and it's like you saw.
Unless you push. If you push, and I've already shown this week, the blacklist has the means to go and do whatever we want, wherever we want. We were able to get into Elliott Creed's home, cribside, bedside, and yet not a word spoken. Nobody sounded alarms. No security
Nothing.
system tripped. Nothing. And why is that? It is because we are able and we have the means to do whatever we want. And everybody else around that sees it, all they do is they turn a blind eye. We are the blacklist, and you exist because we allow it.
But Mr. Creed has been very soft-spoken. He's been methodical here since you guys have come on. He seems to be very content with you guys doing all the talking. Maybe there's a strategy that Mr. Creed has right now.
He's relishing in his fluke win, Tom. That's all it is.
I don't know about that. I think he's letting you guys talk and talk and talk because Mr. Creed just seems to be just, I guess he expected this, and he's tactically allowing you guys to talk and share what you're attempting to do. I think. Am I missing something?
To be honest, Tom, I knew this was going to be, I knew AJ was going to make his presence, and I knew his little boy over there, Dario, was going to make a presence because they can't be alone. AJ can't be alone. This proves my point, Tom. Where's my invitation? I don't need them. That's the point. They come when it's time. I don't need them every second of the day. Obviously, AJ does. He can't beat me one-on-one, so he had to bring his little boy over here, Dario, to handle his business as well. So you know what? They could keep talking because I'm just gonna laugh.
No, you know what though?
It's that simple.
This actually sounds like a great idea, Dario. It sounds, because apparently this isn't a Elliott Creed episode. It sounds like an invitation episode. So with that invitation extended,
absolutely, bring them on in.
I'm wondering, since they want to show up when the time is right, why don't we extend that invitation to them?
We can certainly extend it out to Elias. We can definitely send it out, that information.
But not only that, Tom. Not only that, because we know, I mean, please extend the invitation tonight, because we know that they won't show up tonight. They won't show up to back up Elliott.
Well, Saturday, AJ Storm is here, so that will be a time if people want to spend a few minutes and maybe show their appreciation to an AJ Storm. I know we won't be doing that for Jerry Maine for some people, but for AJ Storm, we will be doing that Saturday night. So we will be offering out an invitation to anyone if they would like to say a few things to AJ Storm. They are welcome to do that Saturday night. But
Elliott Creed, I'll put it to you like this: since you're so confident about the invitation, bring the invitation to EPW. I'll let you pick the time, you pick the place, you pick the week, and we in the blacklist will erase the invitation. We will put it to bed and squash it, just like everything happened back at All Pro 5 when I single-handedly destroyed the invitation, and then Dario Divine went on to cut the head off the snake in the main event and take that TPW championship against Elias. So what do you say? Are you man enough to bring your family, your friends, whatever you want to call them, to EPW? Let's. You want a war? Come on, let's do it.
Hey.
As a matter of fact, let's make it War Games. How about that?
We can do war games. If they're willing to step foot in EPW, I will gladly have them. I'm not going to force it on them, but if they want to have my back, if not, it is what it is, and I'm going to handle my business like I did this week.
So you know what? Now you see again, Creed.
What?
You put your own foot in your mouth.
I didn't.
Yes, you did. See, because again, you want to handle your business. So if they're not there to back you up, here's what we're going to do. That match will take place regardless. And if they don't back you up, that match will become a 3-on-1 handicap match.
No, can't be.
This is what happens, Tom, when you mess with the blacklist.
3-on-1, Elliott Creed. I mean, you are backed into really an awkward and uncomfortable position. I mean, you almost have no choice here.
Bring the invitation to me.
I mean, I know you're a fighting competitor, Elliott Creed, but this is AJ Harrison's on to something here.
I'm going to get what I want, Tom. And Elliott Creed is either going to bring me the invitation or he will suffer the consequences by himself.
Consequences Creed, once upon a time. I mean, there was that name.
So you want war games with the invitation in EPW, huh? That's what you want, AJ?
Absolutely.
That's what you want?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want? I will try my best to bring it to you.
Like I said, you either succeed and bring them to me, or you will be stuck in war games in a 3-on-1 handicap match by yourself. Nobody to save you, nobody to run interference. You will be on your own, and we will punish you. We will beat you. We will do everything and more.
Elliott Creed, I mean, this is just after. I know you just defeated AJ Harrison, but I guess forget about that olive branch. Forget about that offering of the handshake, that peace treaty. It seems like the war has just begun.
This ends when I say it ends. When the blacklist says it ends. And at the end of that, Creed, I'm telling you, this will end when you learn to fall in line and kiss the ring. When you do that and you know your place in EPW, then it's done. Until then, this will continue. You either do that or you become erased. A distant memory, not even.
Erased!
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure everyone involved is already contracted with EPW. So for you to sit there and say, I'll do my best to make them show up, I mean, it's their damn obligation. So you're lucky, because if they weren't signed, you might not have backup. Because like AJ said, this is your big night. This is your big moment. This is what I experienced. I had my moment. And where was anyone on my side? Nowhere to be found.
That's a very
maybe
good
this
point.
is your moment, Elliott Creed. Maybe this is where you need to realize that the people you have around you need to be the people that actually show up for you.
And that was the beginning of this blacklist. And Elliott Creed, this was your day. This was supposed to be a celebration of you finally defeating AJ Harrison after what you've went through, and yet the games have just begun.
We're in the third inning, Tom.
Apparently, AJ's a man possessed, and he's not going to stop. So, I'm gonna have to do what I got to do to make sure it doesn't happen.
And we say hello to our friends out there in CPF, OPW, and the EWA, and Hunter himself, who definitely the unforgiving soul, and obviously what would seem to have been a celebration for Elliott Creed getting his own day on Sportswire Radio after defeating AJ Harrison. It seems like before we go off the air, it now he's going to have to get his invitation brethren to accept in this war game scenario, because if they don't, it's going to be comatose AJ Harrison and Dario Divine against Elliott Creed, and this may end up worse than what Drago did to Apollo Creed in Rocky IV.
I told you, Elliott, and you didn't listen. And now because you didn't listen, you will suffer the consequences. Now, thankfully, I am a very generous and a open-minded Don. So, the longer you push, the worse it's going to get. However, I'm willing to make an exception because, much like Dario and Tomatos both know, I listen to my brethren. So when they decide that you have suffered enough and it becomes a unanimous decision, we might decide to let you have your happy ending.
And speaking of people, I do want to say hello to the birthday boy himself, Draquan. The blacklist is getting only stronger here by the day. And Elliott Creed, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? And it seems to be people have jumped in. But I have a surprise. There's somebody here that wants to say something, and I'm going to do it right now. And especially, this is very urgent and important. So I'm going to share my screen because take it away.
Oh, AJ, oh, Dario. I'm the least person you guys expected, and I'm glad. Elliott Creed, you're going to have backup because you're going to have Texas Red. The Dawn of Combat is going to face his consequences of signing Texas Red to EPW. Same with you, Dario. Consider me helping out the invitation.
Whoa! Texas Red is EPW, and he's joining the War Games fight with Elliott Creed. Boy, maybe Elliott Creed was onto something the entire evening when AJ Harrison should have accepted this olive branch and this handshake because nobody saw this one coming.
You know what, Tom? Hey, if Texas Red wants to go down and jump aboard a sinking ship, then by all means, it's just another casualty.
The only sinking ship in EPW is the blacklist. And it's going to sink head on first when it collides with the invitation and Texas Red. And that is a fact, not a prediction.
Texas Red, we still have a score to settle. Trust me. Don't think I forget. So I'm excited for that. I get to sit there in a cage with you finally, like I requested months ago. Now we get it.
And finally, see, and that's how far off the radar you are to me. It took you months and months and months and months of you trying to get my attention. And it finally worked. It finally worked. You think you're all big and bad because you're Mr. Two Belts. Just remember, I have your number. I know how to beat you. I know how to take you down. And AJ, I'm going to be glad to take him down. It's time to knock down the blacklist from that ledge they've been up on for a while.
That is an interesting
point. And I know just the way to do it.
I thought we were a sinking ship, though. So why would you pick up the call if we're not relevant?
Relevant. This is the perfect time to take you guys fully down. The perfect time. While you guys think you're high in the water, you're really going to be at the bottom.
Dario, what it sounds like is, if we're so irrelevant, it sounds like Texas Red wants to jump on when the blacklist is making their rise. What it sounds like is Texas Red is desperate, so he wants to cling on to the hottest thing going in promo wrestling. And what better way to do that than to jump on to the blacklist and ride the coattails to associate himself in a rivalry.
Ride the coattails. Ride the coattails. That's that's a very interesting way that you put that, because see, I'm known around the promo industry as this fierce competitor, willing to take talents to their limit, to their best. And that's true. I am. But see, there's something that they always say about me. Expect the unexpected. Mr. AJ Harrison, you think you're God, but you're not. You're only playing as him. The real God is right here.
Maybe Elliott Creed was onto something after all. Maybe that's exactly why, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't have to say much throughout the evening, and he predicted that AJ Harrison and Dario Divine would show up here, and he had something up his sleeves because Texas Red is now here, and he's joining this fight with Elliott Creed, and And maybe this blacklist, well, maybe for the first time, the tables are being turned on them.
Elliott Creed, I'm very disappointed in you. Out of anybody, you could have picked, whether it be EPW, TPW, OPW, the whole just promo industry, and you picked Texas Red, a man who is literally ducked Dario Divine. Dario Divine called this man out for a steel cage match, and this man did not answer. All he did was run, and duck and avoid us. And now he thinks that jumping on the Creed train because Creed gets one fluke victory. I beat your ass in that unsanctioned match. I wiped the floor with you. You get one.
You beat his ass, but who won the match?
That's neither here nor there.
Of
Texas
course.
Red. The lengths that I'm
Asking the real questions here.
Many
See,
greats
also-
won battles and still lost the war, didn't they?
I didn't duck Dario. There's no ducking, no running. I was plotting.
So where's that one-on-one match there?
Oh!
See, just like how the blacklist wants to plot their rise to the top, I've been sitting back here patiently waiting, looking, doing my research, targeting, and picking the perfect moment when you two guys and Comatose least expected it.
Exactly what
Here it
Elliott
is.
is doing here tonight. That's exactly what he said since AJ Harrison has come on here. He's been methodical. He's been biding his time. He's been quiet. He's been waiting because he knew that AJ Harrison would be like George Foreman in the Thriller in Manila. He would just punch him and wear himself out. And this was the rope-a-dope plan Elliott Creed had all along. And it seems like it's working.
And Tom, that's fine. He can have all the plans. He can have all the back pocket mysteries he wants. You are talking to the master. I have been able to be one step ahead. It doesn't matter what surprises you have. See, Tom, my superpower, so to speak, is when an unexpected surprise is thrown my way or our way. I'm able to think of something on the fly. So trust me, this is just a mere pebble in the road. If Texas Red wants to go down the same road and suffer the same fate as Elias, as Elliott Creed is on his way facing, we don't mind giving him that same treatment.
Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to certainly find out. And if you'd like to follow EPW, that's their Instagram. You can certainly get in touch with all of these individuals on their own accounts. And I have no doubt we will be seeing more of this. And I will even ask AJ Storm, the now retired in promo wrestling, his thoughts about this on Saturday night. He'll be here at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're here right now, you are welcome to join this coming Saturday night as we celebrate the in-ring promo career of one AJ Storm, and obviously one of the all-time greats to ever do it. And we will be celebrating and honoring his career all evening. That'll start at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time on all Sportswire radio platforms. So if you're here tonight, you are welcome to come into the chat and say a few words and congratulate AJ Storm. And obviously, this was supposed to have been Elliott Creed's day, but maybe it was his day after all, because it seems like just maybe those tables are being turned. And fellas, obviously, I want to thank you so much for being here tonight. And Elliott Creed, just, congratulations, I think. And AJ Harrison and Dario Divine, you seem
Elliott
like
Creed,
you always have a plan.
congratulations on having a babysitter, because your daddy couldn't be here for you. So you have to pull in babysitter Red
My
to
daddy.
babysit you.
Oh,
Daddy
Well,
Elias isn't here to
I can
show
tell
up
you
for
this right now. At the end of this match that we're going to have, not only will I be the father of Dario Divine, I'll be the father of AJ Harrison, I'll be the father of Comatose, and I'm going to send the blacklist into a psychosis. I'm going to send them into a mental breakdown, and slowly but surely they're going to crumble just like the Enterprise.
Texas Red, are you talking about fathers because Comatose exposed who your daddy is?
Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I saw what was done there, but I'll tell you what, it's really expensive to have a family these days. I don't know if I'd recommend it. Some of these people here in this stream do have one, so God bless them. But I'll tell you what, we're going to find out more about this fallout very soon. And this Saturday night, one more time, AJ Storm will be here at 9:30. So I'm sure some of this may or may not be a topic, but you're welcome to join. And if you are out there, please follow EPW, check out TPW, OPW, CPF Warzone, and follow Elliott Creed here on Instagram. It was his day today. And listen, Draquan's here in the chat. I'm sure Comatose is out there getting information as we speak. And this was certainly quite a day. Elliott, congratulations on that victory. You've got your work cut out for you, but maybe you've got some help. And the blacklist, you guys, certainly always say you got to kiss that ring. But right now, it doesn't seem like that's happening anytime soon. But time will tell. And fellas, thank you so much for a once again interesting evening here. And I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about once again on Saturday. And until then, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Always a pleasure.
And thank you. My name here is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally with all music and all wrestling matters. If you're here at Sportswire Radio, like, share, and subscribe. Follow all these guys and their accounts. And also check out my interview that took place this past Friday with Drowning Pool founder and guitarist CJ Pierce. And I would hope you check that out. And until then, we'll be back here tomorrow and have a few big announcements coming up later in the week. But AJ Storm, 9:30 p.m. And Elliott, like I said, nice to meet you. And until then, fellas, I'm sure I'll see you soon. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, with all music and all wrestling matters.